and all for my hate. But I'm a dealer of simple choices. For me it's never too late. I am your pride, agent of wealth, bearer of needs. 'Cause I am your war, running the strong, aiding the weak. I am your wrath, I am your guilt, I am your lost.
He sparks him out a little bit. Keep him alive. He tries to stay alive as the Frank gets a good now. Yippee comes out and that is it. 3 kills.
Don't worry about Blur. Blur has replicated fast and has done it another way around the stage.
Well, the more things change, the more they stay the same. We're coming towards the pointy end of the Buffalo Cup here, and once again, it's the Beastie Boys taking on Enigma. If you've been around local Overwatch for any length of time, you know these two teams have faced off a ton of times, but it's a little bit different this time. It's not the grand finals. Instead, we find ourselves here in the lower bracket finals of the Buffalo Cup. My name is San Phoenix, as you should well know by now, and I'm joined again for the, second time now by Babs.
Yeah, second time.
Experienced caster by Hauser standards in many ways, Babs. Looking forward to this one. I think two teams that have faced each other many times, but it's a little bit different now. Both teams having found themselves eliminated from the upper bracket by the Beastie Boys, quote unquote, B team, second team, academy team, however you want to put it, but the students are becoming the masters here, Babs, as we move towards the end of the Buffalo Cup.
Yeah, a big surprise in the winners finals. Beastie Boys again 3-0ing their sister team. This is supposed to be the second team 3-0ing the supposed first team. So we could be seeing a very different bracket to what we expected at the beginning of the season.
Oh, not that different. If you want to get pedantic, of course, we will still have a Beastie Boys in the final, which I think we were all expecting. But it is absolutely a big paradigm shift here, Babs, in the Buffalo Cup. Second team defeating the first team. I think after watching their match or casting their match against Enigma, Beastie Boys again, we were looking at that team and thinking this is a team that can take the fight to the quote-unquote parent team in Beastie Boys, the main team, but we were not expecting the 3-0 relative domination that they managed to show. But that is, a look into what we'll be seeing next week in the grand finals. Before we get there, we have to see who is going to make it through to that grand finals. And we've got the Beastie Boys taking on Enigma, two teams we know very well. And we'll start here with the Beastie Boys roster. It's going to be Riposte on the main tank. Then we've got Beepo, aka Severin, coming in with off tank on the Roadhog. We were expecting to see a lot of. That's one of the heroes that he can really dominate the game with. When you think Severin, you think the Roadhog. Then we've got Labius and Squishy, two former ATK, or no, Labius was on Goliath Gaming in 2019, but two former top tier 2019 VS Gaming Grand Finalist DPS players on this team. And we've got Hamzo, and then of course Captain Visions coming in on that flex support role, probably the role he's known best for, despite the moving around quite a bit recently.
Riposte, a very well-known main tank in the recent seasons of Call of Overwatch. He's been on Beastie Boys since he's been in the community, I think. I might be wrong on that, but he's always super consistent, always a high performer, and definitely someone you can rely on the team. Severin, aka Beepo, is the first time we're seeing him this year, I think, after he took a break for, I believe, university, I'm not sure, but he is back in the lineup, and he is probably one of the best off tanks in Causa history. Definitely a player to watch out for, especially him on the Roadhog. And we know Beastie Boys like playing these odd comps that support their best heroes, so maybe we'll see that come out. Rav and Squishy, I mean, do we even have to talk about them?
Yeah,
They're just probably the best DPS in the country, maybe. And we have Visions and Hamza on support. Visions is just, I've played with him in Talent Cup, I've played with him in Pugs, I've played with him a lot of the times, and he's just such a consistent and amazing player. Like his brain is actually so large.
Yeah,
I think
one of the
brains
one of the
behind
smartest,
him.
if not the smartest player in South African Overwatch.
Mhm.
Is Visions. But this roster is absolutely stacked, so we'll have to see if their opponents, Enigma, will be able to bring the fight to them. New faces on Beastie Boys in the form of Severin, even if he is an old face. But of course, new faces here on Enigma as well. We've got Blur and Vertigo on the tanks, as we are well used to by now. Doodle on that hit scan DPS. And then we've got Neko, aka Foxy, coming in on the DPS role as well, replacing Assassin's JDB, whose house was struck by lightning. So,
Unfortunately,
the
yeah.
Divine smited him. I don't know what he did in this life or a previous one to deserve such aggressive movement. But unfortunately, he needed to be subbed out here. We've got Tox back in here, currently residing in the UK, having recently moved over there. One of the best flex supports in the country, and then we've got Fluffy as well coming in on that support role. So a heavy hitting line, or sorry, Tox's main support apparently. I mean, they're both flex supports in my heart, but we've got two of the strongest, quite a strong support line here, a strong tank line, an unknown in Neko on the DPS, but altogether a very stable and consistent roster, at least in what you'd expect performance wise.
Yeah, if Beastie Boys is explosive, Enigma is consistent. Blur and Vertigo always top tier main decks. For as long as I've been in the community, at least Vertigo, known as the queen of peel. Blur always been like a coach for many teams and just a consistent main tank. Previous VS Gaming champions actually.
Hmm.
Jelly Doodle, a very consistent hit scan, mostly known for his Widow and his Soldier, who's actually sick and very terrible to play against. But Stocks and Fluffy, Fluffy is so good. I think very underrated, but both of the supports are amazing. And then we have Neko, who we know basically nothing about, I think.
Yes,
For judging
absolutely
from the
nothing.
game I played against them, if it's the same person, I do know they favor the Pharah a lot.
Okay.
So you might be seeing a lot of Pharah play, but then again, maybe that was just to different stats, different weeks, you know.
Yeah.
But I do know Neko is a very good Pharah player from what I've seen.
Okay. Yeah, I think in that sense she should slot in well then in the gap that Assassin leaves, right? Because we kind of know
Definitely.
Assassin as a big Pharah spammer, much to the chagrin of many a player.
Yeah,
And one of the best Pharaohs in the country at the moment, actually really showed
definitely.
his stuff in the Pride Cup. I think stood out in a big way and put himself on Enigma's radar if he hadn't already been from his time on Rage Quit Odyssey. So, not having Assassin in is really a quite detrimental to the squad. But we're gonna have to see how well Foxy can do or Neko can do to fill those boots. But really, this isn't. I mean, I look at this Beastie Boys roster, and every time I look at it, I'm like, damn, there's a lot of big hitters on this team. And of course, we've got the storyline of Blur and Lavius, former teammates, champions in 2019, as I mentioned, going up against each other for the first time, I think. So, quite a lot to see unpacked here as we move into our first map, which will be Nepal. And we're going to be starting here on Village, Babs.
Yeah, Village is a unique map. You can play Brawl, you can play Ball. A lot of comps actually favor the Pharah is very strong, but
Mhm.
Brawl probably the most you'll see in Kalza Overwatch, even in Owl from time to time. So I'm expecting a Brawl from one team at least, but I know Enigma likes to play the Ball comp, so maybe they be creative and they change it up a little.
Yeah, well, they did when they had Visions on the off tank, right? He liked to
Mhm.
lean on that ball quite a bit, but with Beepo in here, he tends to lean on a more stable off tank like the Zarya. Obviously, we know him best for his Roadhog, but that's the kind of heroes he seems to excel at. So he will be on the Sigma here, and they're instead going to go for a double shield conversion.
Oh,
Yeah. How
double
do you feel
shield.
about this
Okay.
before we jump in?
Double shield's obviously a very strong comp known throughout the history of Overwatch.
Mhm.
So I really like it. But going against a Brawl significantly very well known to counter double shield. So I'm curious to see how the matchup goes.
And they've got superior positioning here on the point. They know now Beastie Boys going to have to come into them if they're going to want to take this point away from Enigma now. They're going to move forward here behind Riposte. Wall goes up straight away, and that will secure first cap. So far, a great start for Enigma here. Blur under a lot of pressure, but he's got plenty of cover here. As long as nobody gets picked off, they shouldn't have issues. But what is this on the side? Flanks here from
Oh
you, man,
no.
on the block. Cole Cassidy, which I'm going to say wrong 1,000,000 times. I apologize in advance for that. Immediately, though, Lavius finds the pick. They have lost people in the meanwhile on the side of the Beastie Boys, but they're firing back very effectively here. Vertigo, D-Meg taken down, Riposte taken down in turn. So it's quite a slugfest here for the first team fight. A slow burn to start things off in the wall. Going to slow it down even more. The Enigma waiting for reinforcements to come through. Jeju on the Symmetra, pumping out the damage, trying to get the last couple of hits onto the Torbjorn. Not able to do so. Squishy escaping just in the nick of time here, but it blurs back. And that's going to help them stabilize here. Perhaps it's a bit of an awkward situation for the double shield team at the moment.
Yeah, that was very unfortunate for Beastie Boys because they were equal, but Symmetra on the side of Enigma was just too strong for the three squishies to push through.
Oh, but a miscommunication there a little bit. Perhaps Blur moving forward there, but not having the cover to stay alive. And all of a sudden, it all unfolds there as Beastie Boys unloads their ultimates onto the point, or at least in front of it. And that's going to allow them to force their way through. So maybe a bit lack of patience there from Enigma, it felt like.
Yeah, and all it took was 2 DPS ults, which charge up pretty fast. I mean, Enigma ended up committing the Blizzard, which I think got cancelled, which is very, very, it's very bad for them. I'm pretty sure they're very disappointed in that.
Yeah, that is very unfortunate for them, and now they're gonna have to push their way through. They're gonna do that very quickly here with the Symmetric Teleporter. Gonna throw the Photon Shield, shield up as well. Ooh, it goes down. Nobody going down just yet on either side, but the point has been flipped, Babs here. So Enigma in prime position once again. Only 20% built for the Beastie Boys, as now Enigma set up on the point. Lavis taken down here. Great work from Foxy to find that pick, doing good work on this maze so far as Riposte finds the angle here, trying to find some damage. They eventually take down Blur, and that might be the floodgates opening now as 3 quick kills follow. Fluffy, the only one getting any recourse here for Enigma as they look to clean things up. The second Jelly picks one up. Finally, the DPS of the team, Fluffy, taken down here, and that should be that. Tox, the last man standing, goes down, but 99% on the clock for Enigma. Beastie Boys can't make any mistakes from here on out.
Honestly, if you're Enigma, you're so happy with that. Beastie Boys gives up the point and ends up losing 99% of it. That is a big mistake and might come back to bite them, but nice slow play and nice waiting for advantages and be able to take care of the advantages that they wait out for.
You kind of feel like this double shield works a lot better on the defense as well. So they want to be in this position, but they'd rather have a little bit of room to work with here, in the sense that they wouldn't want to be back against the wall now. Chance popped here by Visions, now moving forward. Blur going on the back, he's spotted out though, taken down. Lavius, aware of his old teammates' tricks, gets the kill before he can find any value, and now can just fire down Ranger, gets a triple kill to clean up Enigma. Beastie Boys again stabilizing once more. Nope, this is the other Beastie Boys squad. It's very confusing.
Yeah, they're looking for a Slang Shadow, which is realistically the only way you're going to get a Shadow as Ryan against a double shield. Because that's not the easiest comp to Shadow against, but I guess Beastie Boy just being too smart for him and ended up catching him out.
Yeah, either great calls or Lavius just with great awareness there to figure that Blur's missing now. TP onto point here, onto the high ground, kind of looking to find the Beastie Boys, and they have now located them. They've got Foxy's ultimate here, the Blizzard throw down, Shadow thrown down as well, didn't find much. Freezes up the Lamp Man, taking down Hamza before he can keep the team healthy as Blur picking up kills on the point. Great work from Enigma, aggressive play, decisive play as they now get set up on the point. Overtime ticking down, anyone to touch. Oh, Jelly just cleaning up with the microwave beam. Beepo takes his own life, says, I'll go down by my own hand rather than yours. And Enigma take control in this first map.
Yeah, Enigma played that so smart. They kept 99 when Beastie was only at 20%, so they just waited for last fight and just pressed Q all at once. So I think Beastie Boy is very disappointed that they ended up giving that 99%, but Enigma played that so well. Just patience and not overextending too much, and just using their ults perfectly.
But also patient but decisive. You know, we can sometimes. I mentioned earlier that they seemed a bit impatient, but looking at how they're playing, I think they want to play on the front foot here, and that is, I think, going to be huge credit to them in the series, because if you can, the way to beat Beastie Boys, I think, is just unsettle them. If you can't outskill them, and I think either team could outskill the other here, but. Compositions now completely different look here for Enigma. Beastie Boys though, they feel like they had a working solution in the previous round, just a bit of an execution difference now. And with the different geometry of this map, it could work a bit better for them. Here's Foxy over the top now on the Farah, looking to put the pressure onto the back line. She's found the Baptiste. Will she get that kill? I don't think so. Lavius instead finds the opening pick here, forced the lamp out, not able to focus it down just yet as it's a Junkrat flying through the sky. Lavius finds a second, finds his third. Is he just going to clean up the whole team by himself? Does he get the shot onto the Mercy? Yes, he does. Tox out of the fight for now as Lavius runs a mark here in the Enigma back line, and that's going to allow Beasty boys to take control, and that might just be the end of this one if they can hold the defense with this superior squad.
Yeah, we see very two distinct playstyles. Yeah, Beastie Boys going for the most steadfast, static comps, and then Enigma just going for the full-on. You know what? We're gonna go to their backline. We're gonna beat. So it's definitely something. I'm pretty sure. I think personally would favor the dive comp, but Beastie Boys just, I guess, out mechanically killing them there.
There we go. Oh, look, going into the backline here, getting pressured back just a little bit, but more than healthy enough to go back through. And that's the pick they find. Lavius, that is a huge pick for them. That's going to give the Farah space to work and allow them to push forward now onto the core of this Beastie Boys lineup, and they do just that. But they have to be careful of this man. Squishy tracks down Fluffy and gets rid of him in just the nick of time, but Foxy in the sky, uncontested at the moment, managing to find picks. Visions dropping low, getting back. The minefield now having mostly dissipated, but J-Doodle tracks down the Brigitte and gets rid of him as Foxy continues to pump in the damage from the sky. This is a great recoup here from Enigma. They find their way back in. J-Doodle tracks down Lavius once again. Enigma gain control, but 60% on the clock here for the Beastie Boys.
Yeah, finding Lavius on the coal is probably the best thing they could have done.
Yeah.
It means Foxy has all the space to play and just go into the backline and assault the supports.
Foxy, speaking of, now has the rocket barrage at the ready. Squishy, you might want to jump up there and put the pressure on. He's quite an aggressive DPS player, is Squishy, very experienced in all sorts of play styles, and has the tire at the ready now. Rocket barrage going to come in through the
Barrage
back
coming
line.
in.
Has she spotted anyone yet? She's found, but doesn't want to commit just yet, and doesn't need to at the moment. Under pressure though, going to move forward now towards still holding on to this barrage. High Noon comes out, not sure from where at the moment. His visions takes down Blur once again. So they're losing players from the point. Foxy not quite decisive enough here with this barrage, I think. Not helping the team get in here. Now going to move forward, but might be too little too late. Okay, does down the shield. Nice work from Foxy to look away from the shield, not to kill herself, but unfortunately still gets taken down by Riposte, but may have helped the team stabilize here. Enigma coming back in one by one here onto the point, looking to clean things up. That Transcendence keeping the team healthy for now, but Fluffy drops immediately once it expires. Lamp up, or rather wall up here, window, as they put the pressure onto Riposte's main tank. The Orisa finally taken down, and it looks like Enigma have done it. They have stabilized here, so a long drawn out team fight favors the more chaotic composition.
I did not expect that. I saw Foxy committing the barrage and I thought it was a big mistake, but Enigma proving me wrong and capitalizing on that one pick from their fire player. Amazing aggression and I just called from the shot call on the side of Enigma.
Yeah, very, very decisive stuff once again here from Enigma as we count down towards potentially the end of this Nepal map. Gravitic Flux at the ready for Beepo here as Blur comes to the backline. Beepo half HP, dropping low, and immediately Riposte taken down by Foxy, but Squishy onto the Echo now has tracked down and eliminated Foxy, and Beepo got rid of Fluffy with the Gravitic Flux. Lavius almost with Deadeye at the ready here on cold.
Oh my god.
Fires back as we know her to do with that self-destruct, the double kill. They are losing players on the point here. Enigma not into the clear yet, but Foxy might have sealed the deal here. J-Doodle still relatively healthy on the point, but as I say, that track down, taken down by Riposte here, and they cleaned it up. Foxy gets the one. Anyone else in the mix? No, there isn't. And Enigma, in a little bit of an upset, take the first map here.
Yeah, Enigma, we see a complete difference in playstyle. Enigma going for what I think is actually the better choice here with the Bull, Diva, Farah, favoring actually something similar to the Shanghai Dragons. And then Beastie Boys playing a very slow comp, which is not something we know them for. They know to be explosive and just go in there and kill things. So this is actually very interesting, especially considering that Control is normally Enigma's worst map type.
Yeah,
I think it's their most lost map type, and if they win this could be, I guess, hinting for the worst for Beastie Boys in the rest of the series.
well, they do have at least 2 maps to respond, and we spoke about Visions, and how smart he is at the beginning of the series, and I think we're gonna have to see that intelligence come through here, the ability to respond to, um, you know, the adversity here. But you're right in the sense that they're playing a very slow composition, right? A very stable composition, one that you expect to succeed with if you're grinding a lot of practice out as a unit. In the sense, can be quite
It's
difficult to execute in that sense. But
yeah,
they might want to switch it up now and take a page out of Enigma's book, at least as far as the series is concerned.
yeah, it's really surprising considering control is where you're mostly free with the comps.
Yeah.
Like most of these control maps have lots of different viable comps that would work perfectly fine, and Beastie Boys choosing to go with the comp that we know them to play the least is actually
Yeah.
very interesting. I'm curious to see what they change going into the next map.
Well, we have to remember, Babs, that they always have the Beeper Roadhog in the mix, and that you can
True.
bring that out, and it's a problem in its own that you have to solve. When casting Beeper matches in the past, it can often break down to various colors of how do you deal with Beeper, how do you deal with that Roadhog, what do you do, how do you change your playstyle to accommodate the threat that he poses, or alternatively, how do you just dominate hard enough so it's not such a big issue? So is something we could see them bring out here. But of course, if Beastie Boys haven't played around that style in a long time, it's not a natural style having your off tank be on the Roadhog. But we're going to see some substitutions now. We've got main man himself, Wallace, coming in, former teammate of the 2CP squad on Enigma right now. And who did they sub out for that?
Lavius for Wallace. That means Vision
Okay.
is going onto the DPS slot. Probably his least played role. He's normally known for being a tank and support player.
Yeah. Very interesting. I wonder what the idea behind this is.
I know seeing Wallace in means we're probably going to be seeing a lot more Lucio, since that is his specialty. But I'm not sure what putting Visions on the DPS is. Maybe there's some, I guess Lavius is having some issues. Maybe there's secret comps that they're about to throw at us. I'm not sure, but I like it. Wallace is a very aggressive player. Causes a private Reddit Lucio, if you may. So I'm very happy to see Wallace in, since I know him to be a very aggressive player, and that's what I guess Beastie Boys is missing in the first match.
Yeah, we will have to see whether Wallace can be the difference maker here coming into our next map, which is going to be Blizzard World. What are your thoughts on Blizzard World, and how do you think these two teams are going to perform given what we saw in Nepal?
Blizzard World is just like Nepal, actually. It's very loose when it comes to preferred comps. The double shield is very prominent on Blizzard World, but so is Dive.
Yeah.
So is Brawl, as well as, I guess, Double Bubble and even the Ball comp. So a large amount of comps, all viable on this map. I'm curious to see what the teams play. I know Enigma definitely favors the Ball comps from what I've seen personally. So we probably expected to see that from them, but Beastie Boys, I don't know. I don't know what they're coming out with right now.
Yeah, it's substitutions really throw a bit of a spanner in the works here in a lot of ways. Enigma also not quite sure what Beastie Boys are going to run out with, on top of the fact that Beastie Boys are running with a sort of emergency sub in the form of Beepo. And it's possible that there was a scheduling conflict with Wallace, which is why they brought Lavius in, because I don't think Lavius has been playing with the squad that much, although I stand to be corrected.
Yeah, I think with Wallace coming in, we're definitely gonna maybe see some type of role. Maybe Ryan Zarya, since Beefo is known for his Zarya. But I'm not sure what Visions plays here. Maybe he plays the Mei, because Mei is a very game sense reliant hero, so maybe he plays the Mei and relies on his amazing game sense, opposed to Lavius's amazing mechanical skill. I guess we're yet to be proven wrong, I guess.
Well, when I think Visions, I think of him playing the Reaper a lot. Back on his time with White Rabbit Gaming, also in 2018 when it
that was a very long time ago. Yeah,
showing my age a little bit here. Back when I was playing Overwatch a million years ago. So that is something we could potentially see. Not the hottest hero right now, but if they want to play that brawly style, really turn the wick up, turn the aggression up, it can work in that context. But just looking at Enigma's squad, What are your thoughts on Foxy's performance after Nepal?
Just absolutely like amazing power play, like just picking off people one by one, and really smart May play on that point. Using walls
Yes.
defensively to like secure points and defend the team. Honestly, as a May player, that's something I really appreciate a lot. And Foxy just improving and impressing as she goes on.
Tiny bit disjointed from the team, I think, on Nepal especially, kind of
Definitely.
floating
The
around in the
power play.
backline a lot, not doing too much. So could be a potential chink in the armor that Beastie Boys could exploit, but we'll have to see whether that's just some first map jitters or whether it is a problem that could uh, become a consistent issue for Enigma. But taking a look at the compositions here, what jumps out at you, Babs?
Beastie Boys with the double shield again. So I guess telling us that, you know what, we practice this, we're confident in this, we're gonna pull it off. And honestly, we've yet to see it work, but I'm excited to see maybe with Visions coming in on the Torb and Wallace on the Mercy, we see some playstyle differences, maybe a little more aggressive with the Echo Mercy. But I guess we're waiting to see what they change. And Enigma with the same comp we've seen from before, it worked for them. If it's not broken, why fix it? So.
Yes. Yeah, force Beastie Boys to come up with a solution, but as you say, neither teams are really changing too much here. Vision's on the Torbjorn, so that's what he's going to come out with here. I feel like Lavius could have done that, right? But maybe the Wallace coming in was more useful than keeping Lavius in if you want to have Visions in the game. Foxy looking for that turret, has identified where it is, but can't hit it from there. Can now rotate around, take it down, so that's a little bit of firepower taken out for the Beastie Boys here as Depot puts pressure onto the high ground. Needs to be careful though, at any point they could fire into the backline, and they do that. Wallace dropping very low here on Squishy's back, under a bit of pressure but not yet taken down. Lots of players dropping low, in fact, but Enigma haven't quite found the opening yet. Moving now onto the tanks, not finding any kills at the moment, just putting the pressure on, putting the damage down. Closest player is Fluffy to his ultimate with Blur close behind, so the mines could come out and that could open something up here. They forced the lamp, so that's a good start. They can take that down. That might be the opening they need, and Squishy does drop. Visions dropped as well, apparently, when I wasn't concentrating, and Wallace forced to resurrect him there. So much pressure, and there we go. Hamzo going down. That's going to open it up. Foxy over the top with a quick charged rocket barrage, and that's the downside of this competition, Bab. You're all bunched up. The Farah can just rain in the damage, build up a quick barrage, and then get a couple of kills with her ultimate. Vertigo dropping low. No! Interrupted on the remake there, so that could end up being a bit of a problem, but the mine's on the point now to prevent the Beastie Boys from coming in here effectively. There's a Mercy on the point. Look, blink and you'll miss it. As well as just taken down. They commit the Molten Core onto point here. Beastie Boys think there's still something to play for as far as this point's concerned, or perhaps Vision's just going to switch up now as we're past the last man taken down. Point will be flipped and Enigma will march on.
Enigma playing the slow game, just waiting for opening to come up, waiting for the Pharah to do damage. Pharah is very effective in the long range. So just giving your Pharah space, letting Blur on the ball, roll around, glue people around, and just creating space for your 2 DPS to shine and release. And I guess the Beastie Boys will be happy at all since they got Enigma to use some ults, but also they committed some ults as well. So I'm kind of conflicted on that at least.
Yeah, well, Visions did end up switching, so the Molten Core not such a huge concern if you do that. Needs to be careful there. Oh, the rock accretion. Almost finding a bird in the sky there. 2 birds with 1 stone. Visions now on the soldier to match Jelly, but Jelly has his ulti available. Oh, Visions though finds the pick, and he's charging his ulti at quite the rate of knots. Jelly though fires back, and Riposte goes down. Rez is available here for Wallace, and he will throw it out now. 69%. Vision's ultimate, 93 on Riposte. Bomb goes out, Vertigo. Is she gonna fire? And yes, she does. She takes down Hamzo. No res available. Sides pop now by Jelly. The opening looking to be taken advantage of here by Enigma, and they do that very effectively now with Wallace going down, Riposte dropping, Squishy dropping twice as fast. And that is going to be that. Sides committed by Vision here once again, maybe feeling like he doesn't want to be on the soldier here either. He was never going to win this team fight for his team. He does end up taking out Foxy and forcing out the res, so that might help Beastie Boys recontest here effectively. Foxy dropping low, needs to be careful, but does have barrage already, going on the back now, looking for an opportunity, not finding it just yet, but Riposte will fall to Blur's mind. So a good start for Enigma in this team fight, and a great end as well as they get the quick cap. The War Machine marches on here, Babs, and Enigma so far looking unstoppable.
Enigma just completely overwhelming Beastie Boys. Very different to what we expected. Honestly, I kudos to the Enigma squad for just outplaying their opponents so well. I really want to see a composition change here from Beastie Boys, and I guess we see that now reverse on the Winston.
Yes, Riposte, I think Winston is most well-known here. His ability to control the flow of a team fight on the dive tank is really, really impressive to see, but they forced out Fluffy Stronsend, and so a good start now. Valkyrie committed as well by Tox, and we're going to try and force this one, and they find Riposte with the rockets from Jedidal. So another great start round the back, though. It's the bird in the sky, will get taken down, but gets rid of Visions. Squishy having to commit the bombs there to take that one out as Beeper. Man alone on point here, isolated and taken down as the rest of the team joins just a little bit too late. Jedidal has another ulti up. Riposte is back. But where is Blur? Oh, here's Blur in the backline. Let's put the pressure on. Mines are
Big
down
bomb.
now on the point. Bomb over the top. It's Squishy's bombs. Finds Foxy. Unfortunate positioning for her. Has switched onto the Echo to match Squishy as well. So Vertigo in the pressure on front line. She's going to show Squishy how it's done. That looks like it could be enormous. The lamp
Oh,
comes
big
up in a
lamp.
nick of time, but so much damage coming through onto Beastie Boys, and Blur and Co. moving through to take advantage of that. The cart has not really stopped moving for any length of time. Or these Beastie Boys has not been able to win a team fight now with Visions. Commits his ultimate here. Looks to put the pressure on. Is he going to find any kills? Finds one. Vertigo taken down. Foxy though finds Squishy in the backline. So still everything to play here for Enigma. Jelly versus Visions. I know who I favor. And Jelly immediately getting the better of that. Gonna pop his ulti now just to put this one to bed if he can. The lamp though comes in just in a nick of time. Needs to be careful here. Of the window, lots of damage that can come through from that as Blur still putting the pressure on. I feel like Blur hasn't even died once this round. He's been such a nuisance in the Beastie Boys back line. Dropping low now as Riposte taken down, Squishy taken down, Hamzo taken down. Enigma might have found a way through the chink in the armor, the knife being twisted now as they clean it up, and the card marches on through to the third point. 2 minutes and 10 seconds on the clock. They looked unstoppable.
Enigma just not getting stopped once, just completely overwhelming and just storming over their opponents. Beastie Boys, they had some good looks on the Winston Soldier Echo comp. They took some few picks, but Enigma just staying through, playing slowly, playing safely, waiting for their team to create openings and just taking advantage of that. And Foxy duffing Squishy on the on the Echo in the last few fights.
Yeah.
That's not something I thought I'd be saying. Squishy being a very well-known, very good DPS, and him getting, I guess, Echo diffed is very surprising actually.
Well, when he was in his prime, Echo wasn't in the game yet, right? At least as a
True,
DPS. He was playing flex support for
For
most
80K.
of Echo's yeah, exactly, for 80k, and then for Beastie Boys after that. So yeah, maybe not that comfortable on the Echo. But Foxy really by no means the weak link here for Enigma by any stretch of the imagination. And speaking of weak links, we're not really looking at Enigma here, are we? We're looking more towards the Beastie Boys and asking ourselves, what do they do to fight back? And I think you're right. Change the composition up, change the dynamic of the match by putting a bit more emphasis on aggressive play.
Yeah, it's Enigma playing so aggressive. I personally think that like if Beastie Boys can play aggressive as well, take out their backline while they take care of your backline.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, you take out your backline while take out their backline while they take out your backline. That's a worthy trade, and I think Enigma Beastie Boys should be confident in their neutral play. But if they're gonna keep playing the static comp, they're allowing Enigma to just show up in the backline and pick up the supports. Foxy and Nafara just absolutely giving Hamza the worst time on the back tees.
Yeah.
So I really think it's like a crazy composition diff right now.
Yeah, I agree. But we're waiting to see here now what Beastie was going to run. Visions just had a bit of a disconnect there. So Riposte and Beeper have not picked their comps, and I think it's really the tanks that are going to decide the complexion of this Beastie Boys composition. I think the Junkrat is very, very interesting here. Second time we've seen Squishy bring that out, and it doesn't really feel like it's been getting that much value.
Yeah, on Nepal, he was actually pressuring the Pharaoh on Junkrat, which is not something you see often. He was doing, I guess, a decent job of it, but they also had Lavius to help him out, and I'm not sure if Visions has the same hitscan prowess as Lavius to
True.
help Squishy on that Junkrat pick. So I don't think it's the right pick, to be fair. But I guess we wait to be proven wrong.
Yeah, and I suppose they don't know that Foxy's coming out on the Pharaoh as well. Of course, we could probably
Assuming at some.
assume it fairly comfortably, yeah, 'cause considering she's been on the Farah and then on the Echo as well. But maybe once they see the Farah out in the mix, Squishy might decide to move back onto something. I would like to see Beastie Boys actually run their own Farah. We know Squishy is a very, very accomplished Farah in his own right, so that might be an
Definitely.
interesting head-to-head to see come out. But ultimately, it depends on what the rest of the squad looks like from the Beastie Boys, I think.
Yeah, I think judging from the Farah and the Baptiste, we definitely be like 80% probably seeing the double shield again. You know, Junkrat a very static hero. Bap also known for
True,
healing large
true.
groups of people, so brawl or
It
double
feels so
shield.
slow though, right? Like how
It's
does
so
this
slow.
how does a double shield make moves here? They're just gonna
Honestly,
get pressured down by
yeah,
Blur and Foxy and Jelly from afar, and
I
they can't
don't.
get to the chokes quickly enough. It
Yeah, I
feels like.
don't think it works because we've seen this. It was actually in the, I guess, the grand finals of the Overwatch League this year, where Atlanta Reign favored the brawl slash double shield style, and the
Mhm.
Shanghai Right Dragons placed the Ball Diva Sombra Tracer, and it was a complete stomping. It was just a complete outclass, and I think
Yeah,
that's what we're seeing here right now. 2 minutes and 10 seconds on Blizzard World is a crazy time.
yeah. No, that is a crazy time, and Beastie Boys didn't win a team fight. You know, they stalled out
Yeah,
for quite a while, but the momentum really never really stopped for Enigma. So yeah, they got problems they need to solve here, and we should be jumping back into this any second now. Just waiting for Enigma to ready up, but yeah, this is quite different from what we might have been expecting. Of course, Babs, we saw the rosters for these two teams, right? And while we know Enigma a stellar roster in their own right, not quite the championship pedigree that Beastie Boys was putting up. Of course, I like this. My favorite stat in the world. Visions is the only player to qualify for every major grand finals in Overwatch, as in every year in tournament
that is
finals.
that
Um,
is crazy.
yeah, he's I I believe he's literally the only player who's done it. And he's been doing it on different teams, obviously starting on Energy Eden, then moving on to White Rabbit Gaming, then Goliath Gaming, and then of course Beastie Boys in the ATK tournament last year. So he's really been around the block and back against the wall here as he tries to qualify for another one. But if any team can recover from a slow start, it is the Beastie Boys. But Enigma, they've got the tails up
Definitely.
now. They've never beaten the Beastie Boys, as far as I'm aware. And that it's a wall they've come up against in numerous
Mhm.
tournaments at this point.
Oh, this is beautiful.
Here we go.
The monkey hug.
Here we go. Comfort hero time. Visions on the Reaper, Squishy on the Pharaoh, like I suggested, and Beepo on the Roadhog. Now, this is the man we want to see, Severin. Go back there, Scars. We want to see Severin. Let's see what he does here. Blur coming on through. Hook has already been missed, so Severin can count his lucky stars that we didn't catch that one on camera. Now going to move around, doing some squats to prepare himself to squat on the heads of Enigma here as they come through.
Oh,
Doesn't
yeah.
even need the hook. That's a celebration hook there. Is the right click more than enough to get rid of Foxy. Now going to rotate onto the right hand side of the point here, looking for targets. Hasn't found anything just yet, but he knows where people are and he finds the Mercy taken down. But his teammates are dropping in the meanwhile. So losing Tox, big problem for Enigma, but have taken on a few people on Beastie Boys backline. Speaking of backline, Riposte has to get back. Blur tracking him down, trying to take him down, dropping low though in the meanwhile, but still healthy enough to put the pressure on. Okay, not healthy enough to stay awake during the team fight though, as he gets put to bed here by Hamza, who has got Banana Boost at the ready, and here it comes through. Jelly immediately taken down by the melee here as Fluffy looks to man mode here on Squishy. Squishy having to retreat here. Fluffy showing no fear, but has to get out now as the main tank closes in, and Squishy will take his revenge there on that pesky flex support as the hook comes through, not finding anything here. Sides coming through from Jelly Doodle. Just going to be tanked up, and Squishy tracks him down as well. So chaotic team fight here, but Beastie Boys are finding a rhythm with Beepo on this Roadhog. They seem to have a little bit of an extra avenue, an extra gear here that they can look towards to close things out. Bomb from oh no! Bonked on the head there by the hook as Vertigo. Not going to be able to get the remake done. Second tick capture as Beastie Boys force Enigma back towards their spawn. Fluffy taken out of mid-air by Squishy after a difficult early start to these team fights. But Blur, he's decided it's not over yet, but a hook from Severin gonna pay the end of that team fight. And Enigma struggling a bit to deal with this, and finally we see something different out of Beastie Boys.
Yeah, this is what we've been asking for from the beginning. Just play comfort pick, something Beastie Boys is known for doing. Squishy on that amazing fire play that we've known through the years, and then Pipo on his signature Roadhog, and just proving us and telling us that just because he took a break doesn't mean he's changed at all.
Yeah, doesn't mean.
Oh, another hook.
Oh, another one. No. Toxin Socks once again the target here. Perfect target has to be said. No resurrection available now. No, though. Moving on to point. Justice range from above over the top, but double kill, 2 kills rather, coming out for Enigma as Vision's in the backline, and they're just cleaning up. They're taking 1v1s across the map here, Babs. And cleaning up very effectively now as Vertigo almost demeched on the way out. Stand up, taken out. So no Diva mech able to will be forthcoming here in the next team fight, and they've really found something extra here on the side of the Beastie Boys.
Yeah, Beastie Boys just picking apart Enigma one by one. Enigma not even having the chance to take a full team fight, which is very different to what we saw earlier, where Enigma was very coordinated, very decisive, and now Beastie Boys just picking them apart one by one.
Oh, they're playing a kind of chaotic composition here, Enigma, but so far Beastie Boys have been doing it better, as now the damage comes through, lots of kills, both teams in fact getting an opening pick there, but once again it's Tox that falls for, oh no, sorry, that was Hamza, Wallace that fell first now. So finally Enigma should have now stopped the momentum here. People on point though with a double kill. Both tanks now out of the fight. Both tanks available here. Another one. Jellydoodle taken down by the hook from Beepo. Eventually Foxy puts the man to rest as Tox gets the res on Jellydoodle. So heroics from Beepo there, but not quite enough to push Enigma through, or Beastie Boys through, sorry. Oh. Have we lost Babs here? I think we might. Well, both teams now getting set up here for the last team fight. Visions needs to be careful here. Almost has the Death Blossom at the ready, so that might be a team fight winner if it comes down to it in this next team fight. Stefara, damage comes through over the top here on point. Blur looks to put the pressure down, has the mines at the ready to buy time for the team. Ready to go with the ulti over the top, finds one kill, but gets taken down in the meanwhile. Will be brought back to life here by Wallace's Visions with his ultimate at the ready, looking for an angle in, but these mines, he has to fire through them to find a way through. Does so eventually, but it's being traded out to this team fight very effectively. Now goes to the back line, but Vertigo had it covered there with the defense matrix, and that's going to be that for this team fight.
Hello?
Hello, welcome back.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. I have Windows 11 and it decided to
Oh, mistakes. Early adopters' mistakes.
Yeah.
I don't know, you're not in the game yet, right? So you don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I have no idea what's going on.
Well, I can tell you that Enigma are still holding firm here, as Babs requests an invite on the mainstream. Blur putting the pressure on very effectively, and they're going to start with a nano boost here on the side of the Beastie Boys, and immediately they find pay dirt here. Quick double, but they have lost Wallace in the meanwhile, as Tox looks to go into the backline to get the resurrection. Finds Jellydoodle, is going to get the res off. Yes, just barely does. Now tries to skedaddle on out of there. That's going to allow, oh sorry, Foxy who got res there, gets the hook off, but not able to get that kill. Does have the whole hog now. Forces Visions and Co back. Forces the whole of the Beastie Boys back to spawn. A one-man army here. Foxy coming in clutch for Enigma, as that's going to allow him to hold firm at least for a moment, but Riposta's back and he looks mad. Oh, so mad that he had to take a map in the middle of this team fight now as Beepo looking for a flanking arrow, looking for targets, not finding him just yet, but it's Visions on the front line who gets rid of Blur. That might be the opening they need to force their way through. Jellydoodle has the pulse bomb at the ready here. Beepo whole hog going, just ends now as he looks to pick off Foxy on the echo. Does so as they look to cap this point. Multiple kills coming now for the Beastie Boys, and it looks like they should be able to clean this one up. Blur is the last man on point, throws out the mines, but might regret that. I think this one is not gone. Oh, C9, no. Not so lucky on this occasion. Enigma and Beastie Boys finally get the second point.
Yeah, I'm going Hamza committing the nano towards the end of the fight, which might come back to bite them, considering they only have 1 minute and 30 seconds. But Beastie Boys showing up on their comfort picks, and a very different team from what we've seen in the last 2 rounds.
Yep, very different indeed, but of course they can't really afford to drop any maps, and they did start with a big disadvantage here.
Oh,
Blur come through, drop off the map here, goodbye, says Beepo as he takes out the opposing main tank. Now it's Foxy with the pressure himself. The truck goes in, the shield doing good job, but they find Squishy. Wallace will get a quick res off there, so not too much lost, and Enigma now dropping like flies here. Res comes through, an aggressive, dangerous res, but Vertigo will get back up, mech up as well. So almost up to a full 6 here for Enigma. This fight isn't over yet, but the cart continues to move on forward. Ulti at the ready, and flurry of kills here for Beastie Boys as they look to clean this one up. They're running low on time here. Of course, if they cap in overtime, they don't get another push. The best they can hope for is a draw, so they have to push it as fast as they can. Enigma just buying time here. Foxy on the point as the Winston. He spent most of that napping, taking a very comfortable nap there as Squishy in the backline finds a couple there with the help of his ultimate as Foxy in the sky is going to get taken down. Angry Monkey time for Applause to clean up the Echo. Can they find anything more? Does he even need to? It is now overtime, so they can't win this one on the side of Beastie Boys, but they can get a draw still, and that might be just enough to keep them in the series if push comes to shove, as Visions on the point now, helping clean up Blur. The point is moving forward. It's just the Echo coming through, and Foxy not in time to stop Beastie Boys from capping the third point.
Yeah, unfortunately capping it in overtime, meaning that a draw is the best scenario. But we've definitely seen them be more alive with this.
Yeah.
Them taking picks, being more aggressive, comfort picks. Very different from what we've seen before. But Enigma, happy that they held out on second point. 10 seconds left and end up forcing the overtime cap. So Enigma pretty happy right now. The worst thing they can do is draw. And all they need is one tick on the first point.
Yeah, that is a position you'd love to be in if you can't win the map outright, I think. And so we should expect them to push through fairly comfortably, but 2 minutes is not a lot of time. It's completely conceivable here that Beastie Boys, with this new composition that we've seen take these long, drawn-out team fights, perhaps we might only see like one and a half fights here.
Yeah, definitely.
And that makes it much easier for Beastie Boys to hold the point.
Their comp very good on defense as well. Reaper, Rorak a lot stronger on defense in my opinion. And the Farah can play passively. She doesn't have to be as aggressive. Just spam from the backline, play safe. Just stall things out since it's only 2 minutes, and then it's very drawable. I see the draw, but at the same time, Enigma's been so good on attack. So I'm more like 70 win, 30 draw right now.
Okay, so you feel like this is quite firmly in Beastie Boys' favor, and I don't know if the Sombra changes your mind, but it all's going to depend on whether Jedul can charge up a nice quick EMP. In pro play, you'd expect him to get this charged up almost twice in the 2 minutes. Hook comes in onto Vertigo. She has to get out of there. Rescued as well by Foxy as Beepo continues to make a nuisance of himself. But in the back line, this could be the opening they need, and they find it. Foxy, with the help of the Sombra, takes down I'm Going Hamza. The healing now. Major Limited as Wallace goes for the res, but whooped back. Foxy, too clever for that move as she prevents the res from coming out now. As Riposte looking for targets, but struggling to find what he's looking for. Vertigo, low HP, almost ready to remake. Does get the remake off, but they've lost Toxin Sox in the meanwhile, so no res available. Visions finding both supports here somewhere on the map as finally Foxy tracks him down and takes him down, but that's going to force Enigma back. So already 1 minute off the clock here.
Yeah, Vision just hanging out in the background, but we do see a Fluffy coming up to a nano boost. And that could be key. Nano Farah is actually just so overpowered. So I'm still looking positive on the side of Enigma.
Yeah, absolutely. But Visions has his ultimate here to counter out that Nano Farah. Oh, as I say that though, he gets dropped right off the bat, and he's in an awful position here. Cannot be raised from where he is, but they have taken down Jelly as well. That means the Sombra is not getting out charged here. Resurrection though onto Jelly, so he is back in the mix now. Foxy finds Squishy in the sky, and that might just be it. Can Beastie Boys stop the movement of Enigma here? They track down Beepo, they're trying to get him taken down, but they won't follow him around the corner here. Ultimate's ready for both teams here, but no, the point is capped. Enigma will take the victory there, and you rather feel like Beastie Boys still had quite a bit in the tank there.
Yeah, Beastie Boys just stepping off of the point. I think Riposte jumped up and didn't think. I think he jumped too high. Ended up stepping off point for a second, but Enigma looking mortal compared to what we've seen previously, and Beastie Boy is definitely looking stronger. I think they can be happy with that, considering they just too good. Considering they found their stride, but Enigma just proving too strong. We might be seeing a 3-0 here.
Well, I think we have to remind ourselves that they only BC was only switched comp halfway through that map. They'd already incurred that 2-minute deficit from Enigma's first attack when they were still leaning on that double shield composition, which we saw them have very little success with. So once they switched compositions, it was a very, very even matchup from that point on, and it was really only the extra 2 minutes that Enigma were able to utilize to get that last cap that helped them win the match. Otherwise, it really could have and maybe should have been a draw. So really, everything to play for here for the Beastie Boys. I think they've now find something that works a lot better for them, and it wouldn't surprise me to see them start to make a little bit of a comeback here. But as you say, Babs, we are looking down the barrel of a 3-0 here potentially. It's going to have to be a reverse sweep from Visions and the boys. Do you think they've got it in them?
If there's any team in Kaosa right now to reverse sweep, I'd give it to Beastie Boys.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, if there's any team to stay consistent and stay at their best, I'd give it to Enigma. So I'm not sure what to choose at this point. Beastie Boys with their comfort peaks playing so well and that, but Enigma with their consistent team play, their aggressiveness, their decisiveness, just proving a lot better than I guess pure mechanical skill right now.
Yeah,
But
and that's kind of what we'd always expected to be the case, right? But throughout the recent history of South African Overwatch, it seems to be the mechanical masters that get the better. I don't know if you agree with that.
yeah,
Babs.
definitely. Beastie Boys winning, I think, our last 2 major tournaments, if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken. And yeah, mechanical masters. Like, remember, was it Randburg? They had a team of just
Yes.
absolutely cracked players, apex players actually.
Yeah.
But because they were so mechanically skilled, they just blew away the competition. And we might be seeing that from Beastie Boys. Maybe they make a comeback. Exclamation mark RS.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
Havana next.
Yeah, it is going to be Havana next here coming up. A map we don't get to see maybe as often as some would like here. One of the new maps, if not the newest real map
Yeah, I
added to
think
the
he's
game,
the
right?
US map. Yeah, Havana does favor the double sniper, double shield comp that Beastie Boys was playing in the beginning.
True.
So we might see them, go back to that. But
I hope
the
not,
people,
though,
the
right?
people Roadhog worked out for them. So maybe we see some, pull hook, oink and yoink.
Mhm.
My personal favorite comp in Overwatch. But yeah, I'm curious to see the comp of Beastie
One
Boys.
thing we also see though, Babs, is that very aggressive front line hold off the back of strong Pharah play, which you've seen Enigma do before with Assassin JDB in the roster. But Foxy showing herself to be a perfectly competent Pharah as well. So we might see Beastie Boys struggle to come out of the gate, but of course it is going to be Enigma on the attack first. So that aggressive defense might work very well for Beastie Boys as well, with their proclivity for, as you mentioned, the double shield. So, no, they're going to go for the Winston Roadhog, and actually, I much prefer this from them, even if the double shield makes a lot of sense here. Oh, have we lost? Okay.
Okay, we went back to custom game. Changing. Oh no, we leaked comps. Oh no.
Leaked comps, yeah.
But yeah, neither team changing from what worked with them in the last map. So I'm curious to see, the ball comp definitely not mostly favored on Havana first point. That's mostly favored, brawl / double shield. And neither is the Winston. I guess Winston Hawk is not really favored anyway.
Yeah,
But
true.
seeing very against meta comps from both teams.
Yeah.
And
Kind
I'm
of
curious
responding more to the match than
the map.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to wait and see if they want to come. Of course, neither team will have seen the opposing team's composition, so can't really make decisions based on what they saw. But okay, no, looks much the same, almost identical, I think. And the most interesting thing here is that double sniper, right? Coming out
Yeah.
from Cheerleader and Co. and Foxy rather. So they're gonna try and use that on the attack to find picks. A bit of a feast and famine composition.
Yeah, the Hanzo Widow, a old yet gold combo we've seen throughout the history of Overwatch, you know.
Mhm.
And matching Foxy on that Hanzo is the main support player on the side of Beastie Boys. He's saying, I'm going Hanzo on the
Yeah,
Hanzo, you know, playing his namesake hero. And
exactly.
I haven't seen
It,
him play DPS in a while.
it was a prediction. It's not just his name here. It's Hamza on the Hanzo, as you say. Vision's going to be moving back to flex support. I think we both agree that we think that's his home, his best position.
Mhm.
We'll have to wait and see if that helps them here. We don't think of Hanzo as a DPS player, but I know he used to play DPS back in the day. I
Yeah.
want to say for like Inex and some teams like that. That's why irrelevant even when they existed. But Riposte now coming through on the ball. It's a ball v ball here. Riposte not going to be running the Winston, as Foxy will be the first to go down. Squishy immediately takes the first kill. Enigma, both DPS getting taken down. Hamza says, what have we been doing for the last year and a half, guys? I should have been playing this hero from the start, as he picks up a quick double. And then immediately dies to
Yep.
resurrected Foxy.
We saw a DPS dub early on, you know, Squishy on the soldier, showing that just because Jelly it's not his specialty doesn't mean he can't play it.
Yeah.
And Hum is definitely in Jelly Drill's well-known Widowmaker to be one of the best in the country right now.
Yeah.
So maybe this is pointing, you know, what we'll see in the near future for the rest of the game.
Oh, or maybe it's the opposite, and that was just a fluke, as Foxy finds the second pick in a row now on Hamza. A nice headshot. Resurrection available for Wallace, I believe, but not able to find it yet. Okay, no, there we go. Just brought back a flat ball. Did he just respawn? I think he just respawned, right? So
He
Hamza
just
coming
respawned.
back now.
Oh.
So Jellydoll fires back, takes down Squishy, so immediately they recoup those kills that they gave away on their first attack, and now they just start to clean up. Start moving forward. Foxy throws out her ultimate now to clear the point, to clear space for Enigma to push through, but Beepo still in the mix on the high ground, but Foxy's not afraid. She
That
doesn't
goes
afraid of
down.
anything, and now she's got backup as well from the Queen of Peel. And they clean up Beepo very effectively. So great work, good recovery from Enigma after a tough first fight, but they haven't got it sealed just yet on this first point. A lot of players from Beastie Boys alive now. Resurrection from the Valking Mercy comes through onto Foxy, but Squishy finds Vertigo, but Foxy fires back with a headshot onto Visions. Sights out now as Fluffy finds a kill as well. So the DPS players are just finding pick after pick after pick here on Enigma, and that's helping force their way through. Assisted in no small part by the tanks, but Beepo is now on the point. He does have his ultimate going. He sends the bird further into the sky, into orbit almost, as he gets set up on point. Transcendence committed as well, and Beastie Boys, I think, will now have done enough to hold this first point, but Enigma says it's not over yet. He does get taken down. I thought he had that one covered under the point, and there's still 4 players on the point here for Enigma as they look to force the point through. Can Blur find the boops to push them back? So far he's doing just that. Are they going to get the cap? There is a monkey on top of the point. Blur might want to whip the guns out and take care of that. He will do that right now, and the point will finally force their way through, but that was a chaotic, drawn out mess of a team fight, Babs.
Yeah, that team fight was. I must have been terrible to be the one casting that, son. So,
Wow, you get used to it by now, Babs.
you know, you're seeing the just the DPS on both sides and the Zenyatas on both sides just getting pick after pick, and Enigma's slow and methodical play getting the better of it there.
Yeah, absolutely. As people are looking for the flank here, and he hasn't really had the impact on this map as we saw him have on the previous one here. As Visions, needs to be careful to be taken down here. They're on the defense, right? Because he's positioned like an attacker right now, which is a bit weird. As Wallace has forced to res I'm going ham, so this time finds the balls of Fluffy on his forehead there, unfortunately for him, as Beepo's still looking to put the pressure on here, not able to find the hooks on this map. As I said before, Squishy now has the ultimate at the ready, looking for an angle here, gonna move around, see if he can find new picks. Beepo has dropped on the front line, Transcendence Force, nice work from Squishy there to force that one out. That's gonna allow him to pop his ultimate now, in turn look to clean things up, but the pressure is really mounting here for the Beastie Boys, and Squishy gonna
that's
look
gonna
to
be
try and push the release valve here,
Yeah.
and he does just that, a quad kill to go with the one he got just before that. So that is 5 kills from Squishy. Great work from him, forcing out the trans and then cleaning up with the ultimate.
Yeah, Beastie Boy is playing very slow and it's like looking for openings to engage on, and it's working for them. They might be giving up card progress, but now their comp is taking space. It's steadfast. It might be hard to push.
Oh, once again, Fluffy finds the better of that trade there, takes down Hamzo. There's a flank from, Jelly to find Squishy there. Rez is down. Beepo bonks Fluffy on his head as a recompense for killing his friend, and gets the ball and gets the mech of Vertigo as well. So he's really contributing now. You heard me say he's not doing that well, and he's decided to prove me wrong, and I'm always happy to see players do that now as Tox gets the res up once again, contributes to a kill there. Squishy gets the last hit, but a lot of damage put in by Beepo, who's taking a lot of damage now. Has to back, has to be careful. As Foxy, I believe, throws her ultimate 3. No, that was Hamzo throwing the dragons through as Diva now. Vertigo going to throw her ultimate 3. Doesn't find anything. Good shield from a pass. Keeps the team healthy, but Vertigo taken down before she can get the mech back. Squishy really firing on all cylinders here on the soldier as he picks off his third of the team fight.
Squishy like showing us the soldier though, not something we expected. Jelly Doodle known to be one of the best soldiers in ZA, and Squishy just outshining right now.
Yeah, absolutely. So impressive to see from him. We know him as a projectile DPS as well, but of course all his time playing Ana in recent months probably hasn't hurt his ability to aim on hit scan heroes one bit, as now 89%, 92% towards the tactical visor. Has it at the ready, needs to pressure the Diva out of mech if he wants free reign with his ultimate, but there we go. Fires now, Riposte fires in, and Jelly has his ultimate available. The hook comes through, but the Diva is there. Vertigo, the Queen of Peel, living up to her name as she keeps Jelly healthy during the attack visor. So much committed here for the Beastie Boys. The Trance comes out, the Res comes out, and Squishy with his second lease on life here fires back straight away, but Wallace eventually tracked down, taken down, and now Squishy under so much pressure as Fluffy keeps the cart moving forward. They have taken down Tox, and Fluffy recognizes that he needs to pop the Trance here to keep the team healthy, but he might regret that now. Squishy ultimate at the ready, a great angle found here, not finding any kills, but putting down a ton of damage. Is he going to track him down? No, he isn't. The clock is ticking down. Oh, just barely gets another touch there. Enigma backs against the wall now. They need to clean this one up, but they're getting cleaned up so effectively here. Beepo does go down, but Jelly looking pretty lonely, but that's the same. He gets another kill. The respawns are coming through. Jelly Doodle puts a team on his back and he says, come on boys, we've got a map to win, a series to win, and they're going to start off by getting this second point.
Oh my god, the DPS on the side of Enigma just showing up after a really good chance from the Zen to put pressure and allow the res onto the soldier, but that's enough. I think the fight is over.
Yeah. James deciding he's gonna. We spoke about the soldier diff, and he also heard you and decided he's gonna prove us wrong. As I say that, he gets wrecked by visions from across the map. He takes another life in the form of Foxy. Foxy is the lucky one who gets the respawn, and Wallace gets taken down. So this fight is even now as Blur tracks down Visions and gets rid of him as well. So a lot of the damage limited now as Riposte with an ill-fated dive in does get punished as well. So Enigma with a lot of momentum moving forward now.
See through the dragon's eyes.
Ooh. Perhaps, my friend?
Capitalizing on their picks there.
Ah, there we go.
No?
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. Beastie Boys not capitalizing on their picks there, and then Enigma taking advantage of that.
Oh, this time it's Foxy with the pick here. Visions, the unfortunate recipient of that right now. Jedidul with the ultimate going forward. Blur is taken down here, but it's this man right here, Jedidul, putting the pressure on Tox with a little bit of violent action there on her own right as Wallace drops as well. So throws the ultimate in, forces the Trance out. And that might allow Squishy to come back in here with an ultimate as we've seen before, but he's running out of teammates here. Thanks on the points now. Oh, that is awkward timing as the dragons come through. The whole hog is popped and he can't heal himself. He might have been able to stay alive at the point, but it's going to be Enigma who pushed their way through in overtime. But this is a hard map to finish.
Switching sides.
Yeah, Havana, I think just finishing Havana is an amazing feat on its own. And, Beastie Boys are showing signs of life. They playing really well. They're taking advantage of the comfort picks. But Enigma just pushing through it. Actually, surprisingly, their sheer mechanical skill, the DPS showing up at the end of both fights to secure both points. And
Yeah.
a very interesting first round, actually.
Yeah, very interesting indeed. And I think going to be made more interesting as we see how the Beastie Boys respond, because we felt like they'd found something with that composition, right? We felt like this was a look that could bring them success, but they struggled to make Severin's Roadhog work there, felt like. As they looking to hold that, they were kind of looking a little bit disjointed, which is kind of a consequence of how their more chaotic composition works. But they were relying heavily on initial picks from the likes of Visions, Squishy, and Hamzo to clean things up. And now with the compositional switch, where they switch Hamzo and Squishy onto the DPS, they might, onto more stable hit scan DPS, they might struggle to make this work here, as I sit on my own casting here, since Babs has decided he's had enough of hanging out with me. Hopefully we'll get him back in a moment. He has returned. Babs, are you back?
I was having no internet issues, but yeah, I should be back.
Awesome. So compositional differences here. Foxy and Jiddu once again on this double hit scan to start us off for the first point. So they felt like it worked, and you can't really blame them for their attack. They were really the key to opening this up for Enigma here. They're going to look to the same on the defense as Riposte immediately. As I say it, Foxy finds that opening pick, and that should just spell the end of it. Hamzo goes down as well, courtesy of Fluffy, as Riposte gets brought back into the fray. He's just going to pump the damage in from afar. Great tracking from Squishy there to keep Blur under pressure, but unfortunately for Squishy, his teammates are dropping like flies. Visions and Riposte have both died. Riposte for the second time in the team fight, and Enigma are just going to hold firm here to start us off.
Yeah, the damage boost Hanzo on the side of Foxy is just, it instantly deletes Winston's. I'm seeing a change on the side of Riposte, because playing Winston into a damage boosted Hanzo is never fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's the kind of map where you can position yourself as a support that you're not really going to get pressured by the monkey without him committing very heavily. So it's a difficult one. And I mean, what champions are just getting picks like this? The second one of the team fight, just such great work from the Enigma DPS players. We tend to think of them as a more tank and support focused squad, with Jeldoodle kind of playing a more supporting DPS role, if that makes sense. But they've really showed up today in this match, as Foxy just putting the pressure on with the tree trunks here. 94% to the ultimate if she wants to make space here on the point. Ooh, it's a bit of a shot there. I never knew that they changed Widowmaker's HP to 175. I learned that right now for the first time. Visions finds the opening pick onto Blur, and he had an extra 25 HP, I'm sure. Hamzo fires back as well. Rez will come through here onto Jadedul, but Beastie Boys have found an opening here as they look to wrench their way through this Enigma composition. It pops his ultimate now, a little bit of the pressure on Transcendence comes out in response, or rather in assistance here, and Squishy will clean things up here, picks up his third of the team fight, and that's going to help Beastie Boys push on through, but they do not see this very big ball on the point that Blur has now been spotted out. Just going to swing around, does get taken down, and I don't think we'll see Enigma come for another contest here.
Yeah, I think Beastie Boys waiting for their DPS to get picks, was a very good choice, considering they have a Winston.
What is this? Sorry, Babs, they're actually all going to go for a contest. Visions dropping low, taken down, but they've lost Fox on the front line, but they had the trance. That might have been the key for them moving forward, but they might regret it now, losing a lot of players here, as eventually Enigma is going to get cleaned up here. Beastie Boys are going to say, thank you very much for all the free ultimates you threw at us. We will just get up the point 10 seconds later.
Yeah, that was, I do not agree with the recontest there. You capped the point, you have a lot of space. You don't have to try and first hold them. Now they don't have the trance for the second point, and Vipo with the whole hog and Riposte with the Primal Rage. It's going to be very difficult to, survive both of these tank ults.
Yeah, and Squishy moving in towards his tactical visor as well could end up being a key, but Blur does have his ultimate here. Oh, Riposte.
1 HP.
Or 7 HP, but he gets taken down. Blur tracks him down eventually. Vipo, as you said, has the whole hog act already, but with Riposte down, they're on the back foot now. Hook in, he will probably get forced back here, Blur, and he does. As apparently Vertigo was demeched at some point. That's a bit unfortunate, because if that Squishy ulti comes out now, and she does go down, so that means Squishy, if he gets his ultimate up, will have free reign of the team fight. But no, the rest comes out from Tox, recognizing the problem that might pose as Foxy rains damage in from above here, finds a cheeky shot onto Visions, but the Squishy is in the back line now. looking to pick up a couple of free kills here. He does get a couple, he gets a DMEC as well, and now we'll move back towards his team. Here's Vertigo picked off in the back line. So the card is moving, but Enigma buying themselves a lot of time here, but Vertigo going down, Blur going down. I think that's probably the end of it.
Enigma's stalling for really long, but not really winning fights. While they stall, Beastie Boy is just picking up one by one. You know, Enigma trading, but Beastie Boy is picking up another one. It's a slow, painful death, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure what they were aiming to do with, not taking any decisive fights there.
Ooh, well, they're trying to make a decisive play now with the trance coming through from Beastie Boys and the Dragons, though. Makes it hard for Enigma to do any work. Jerry looks for a flanking angle, almost up to his ulti, but look how many teammates he's losing while relocating here. Ends up getting taken down. A 6-0 fight here, assuming Foxy doesn't perform any heroics, which he doesn't. And that's going to be second point cap. 3 minutes on the clock here, Babs.
Yeah, Beastie Boy is just showing up with their mechanical skill like we spoke about, and right now, I hate to speak like this, but they're completely outclassing Enigma on that second point. Just completely battering their enemy, and it's looking good for them. You know, the comfort picks, the mechanical picks. It's going good, and I'm starting to wonder why they didn't just play this from the beginning. You know, maybe they were giving us some stream drama and planning to do the sweep from the beginning.
Controlling the narrative here, yeah. Who knows? If anyone would do that, it would be Beastie Boys, right? Or Team Gaming. But they are struggling a little bit here now as they push through Enigma. Oh, that's a big one. They basically graviton surge themselves here in this little silo as Beepo decides to end it all on his own terms. But Fluffy says, I won't even let you die on your own terms, as he executes him with impunity. And Enigma now finally, for the first time it feels like, stopping the momentum.
Yeah, and not an expensive fight. You know, they took 3 ults, but 2 of them were relatively fast charging, and Foxy ended up switching anyway.
What is the tracking here, Babs? These people are inhuman.
That's disgusting, actually. It hurts me though, considering how much Overwatch I play, and I'm like,
right? And you play DP. I'm at least a tank main, right? So I don't need to aim. I don't know. I'm a Rocket League main now. Don't talk to me about aiming in Twitch FPS games. Enigma still looking to clean this one up. It's kind of another messy fight though. After a pretty decent start, I feel like as Tox looks to work his way back towards his teammate under pressure here. Once again, we get to witness the tracking from Squishy on the big ball of Blur as he comes through and does get taken down as Jellydoodle finds a return pick, but this is just pure cleanup. What was that hook? How did he manage that?
What is his sensitivity?
What is his... Jesus, he's definitely not playing on a controller, this guy, because that was a flick and a half.
Yeah, it was actually sick, but yeah, Beastie Boy is showing up on the side of mechanical skill. Enigma's mostly slowing down play, but not being able to, hold steadfast and prevent Beastie Boys from moving forward.
Yeah, and in fact we have to point out here, Enigma no slouches mechanically either. This is a very strong team when it comes to their aim and mechanics and all of those things. Oh, just barely keeping up. Vertigo's mech there from long range. With the Valkyrie is Blur does get taken down, but I think he's done enough here by disrupting the backline. Squishy being kept healthy by the Biotic Field and by his Mercy, but now under a ton of pressure with no front line left, he becomes the main tank for his squad, and that's not a position Soldier wants to be in. Blur recognizes he needs to be careful here. Not to get hooked in and taken down. We'll do that. But Beepo does get Foxy on the way out. So Enigma can now, or rather Beastie Boys can now push forward.
Yeah, but Enigma coming up on 5 ultimates, and considering they only have to win 1 fight to absolutely win the series, this is, oh my god.
Oh, Vertigo! That just might be the nail in the coffin that seals it all here for Enigma. A huge team wide. It had to be Vertigo. She's been having a quiet series and she says, pay attention. And that's going to be that, ladies and gentlemen. Our second finalist now in the Buffalo Cup confirmed. Enigma will be taking a rematch here. Their first ever victory over the Beastie Boys. They've finally done it, and they did it with confidence, Babs.
Enigma just, 3-0, considering they were the ones thought to lose, that's actually amazing, Showing us that they don't lack mechanics either, Beastie Boys wants to play double sniper, we can play double sniper.
Yeah.
And Enigma absolutely showing up when they're needed. Consistent, like I said, always been the consistent team. They don't have to be explosive to win games, and right now they showed us the explosiveness that they had hidden behind their backs.
Yes, this is the Enigma I've been wanting to see. I always moan about how I feel like Enigma is better on paper than they are in practice. For whatever reason, it feels like they've never quite hit their potential. But this result right here tells me a lot. I think Beastie Boys have in general been performing a little bit below what we might expect of them. Of course, losing to Beastie Boys again, there's a bit of a red flag for them, I'm sure. But it also tells us that they're not the dominant force they used to be, and in part because of their own perhaps weaker performances, but their opponents have just stepped up, right? Beastie Boys again stepped up in a big way, that new roster to face the main team. Enigma have now stepped up in a big way. They looked confident in this series. They looked really well put together. They looked like they came in with a plan, and that plan was to play on the front foot, to play aggressively, and to dominate. And they executed that so effectively in the series.
Yeah, on BC Boys' Comfort Cup, by no means were they playing terribly. They were playing really well, but
Yeah,
Enigma just improved so much and just showed up when they needed to. And they just took everyone by surprise. They played way higher than we all expected and Beastie Boys expected. And the compositional diff in the beginning not helping Beastie Boys at all.
yeah.
But Enigma clearly put in the work to prepare for their opponents, and it helped out and worked out in the end.
Yep, absolutely did. And that's going to be that, guys. Enigma versus Beastie Boys again. That is going to be the Buffalo Cup Grand Finals. We probably expected the Beastie Boys in the finals. We probably expected Enigma to make it the distance, but none of us, I think, expected Beastie Boys again to fight their way through two tough opponents here. Both teams that we just saw face each other were knocked out by Beastie Boys again. But it's going to be a hell of a rematch, a best of 7 next week, Sunday. In all likelihood, that's when it's going to be. But before we go, Babs, who do you think stood out to you? Who was your player of the match?
My player of the match, most people would say Foxy since she showed up a
Mm.
lot in the kill feed, but Blur's ball, creating space, yeah, doing the most to make openings for his team to take advantage of. I think he deserves the player of the match for me. What an amazing play from Blur and the rest of his team.
Yeah, don't disagree. I think I would personally give it to Foxy just because she's a new kid on the block, and she showed no signs of any first match jitters or a lack of performance, especially filling the big shoes that Assassin leaves empty in his absence. But really, really impressive stuff from Enigma across the board. No weak links. And of course, I said Vertigo is having a bit of a quiet game. I think that's kind of the nature of what her role was in the composition this time. It was really
Yeah.
on Blur to make the space, Fluffy and the two DPS to get the picks, and Vertigo was just kind of a more supporting role, like we sometimes see Jelly Doodle doing, keeping the supports healthy with good peeling, good support play on the Diva. So stand out all of them, and then of course she sealed the deal with a big ulti over the top.
Yeah, the amazing Diva in the
And
end.
everyone else really had their moment to shine in the series on at various different points. So I'm excited for next week's Sunday, guys. My name, of course, has been Sun Phoenix at Sun Phoenix on Twitter. Babs, where can we find you?
Yeah, I'm at Bab767 on Twitter, and don't forget to show up to Calza Pugs every Friday and Saturday night.
Yes, Mr. Pugs right here. Promoting his own pug situation. But yeah, guys, every Friday and Saturday, right? Question mark?
Yeah, that every Friday and Saturday. Yeah.
Starting at around 7 or 8 or
Yes,
whenever.
we try to start lobbies at 7, but Calza is not the most responsive community.
Yeah, whenever enough people get there. If you're new to the game as well, don't feel intimidated. People are really really responsive to new players joining, and we'd like to see as many new faces as we can. Just having fun. It's not ultra competitive either. So if you just want to show up, have a chill time, and meet and hang out with some of the community, Pugs is a great way to do that. Of course, we are produced here once again by our production stalwart, Mr. Scars, at Scars_gaming on Twitter and on Twitch, I believe. He's doing all of the production, pressing all of our buttons. So go give him a follow on both of those platforms. And of course, we have at ZA Overwatch, who are running the tournament actually, and also who are the best, and also my baby as well. So no bias. But that is at ZA Overwatch on Twitch, as you can see, and on Twitter. Go follow us there if you'd like updates on what's happening when any tournaments, any matches that are upcoming. And of course on YouTube as well. All of our VODs get pushed to YouTube. So if you miss out on a match and you can't find it on Twitch, or if you'd like to reminisce on the old days when your team wasn't dog shit or they were still relevant, then you should go and do that on our YouTube channel. pretty much everything we stream ends up there. So please go and do that, guys. And then finally, just a reminder, Sunday is the day, the Buffalo Cup Grand Finals. Enigma taking on Beastie Boys, again, the quote-unquote Beastie Boys B team. The students who have become the Masters are looking to win their first major tournament, and what a time to do it. So guys, we'll see you there, and enjoy the rest of your weekend.